Mercury Retrograde. Oh no. Mercury Retrograde. Oh yeah. Mercury Retrograde has gotten a real bad rap for a real long time. I know there's people out there who are like, oh god, astrology. What a ridiculousness. You're welcome to. I can hear you. And there's other who go, it's true. Look at it myself. I've seen it happen. Both of you, come and have a seat. Let me talk about some astrology today with you. Astrology, Mercury Retrograde. What's the deal? Is it real? Let's do it. Why does my opinion matter? Well, I've studied astrology for a year. I did so in Vancouver while I was at university. I actually took a course from somebody who taught it out of her home. She was an expert, so she did not take on a lot of students because she had a busy life and she was very selective of who she chose to do this. Anyway, I had it with about 6 other people, 6, something like that. It was under 10 in this class, and I took it for almost a year. Yes, I learned about transits. Well, that's a real complicated one. The planets, the houses, the signs, Mercury Retrograde, blah blah blah, Chiron. Yeah, I've been there. I know there's people on those astrology channels. I welcome you too, and those who like them, let me know down below. What do you love about astrology? What do you hate about astrology? Let me know. And I will say I see the keywords that they use, and I see what they say, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. That said, there are some amazing astrologers, and I'll just give one out there right now, who can be really specific, accurate, and that is Susan Miller, Astrology Zone. She may not be on it all the time, but sometimes she's very accurate, so I recommend her. Put in a thing here, astrologyzone.com, and no, I'm not affiliated. I could do my own astrology column. I have done charts for people in the past. Let's get into it. That's my experience. I don't read my horoscope very often. Yes, I'm into astrology, but I rarely read it. I used to read it every day, every week. I don't do that anymore. Occasionally I'll read them monthly from, like I said, Susan Miller, Astrology Zone, and that's my main source of reading it. Yeah, because I don't think that the planets fully dictate our lives. However, here's the thing I find fascinating. Even that being said, I have many times in my life, I can't count the many that I have, not 100% accurate, but I'd say at least 20 to 50 people. There's got to be way more than that because I used to do it all the time. And I still can today, where I meet somebody, I've talked to them once or twice, so sometimes I don't even meet them, like, oh, they're a Libra. Oh, that guy, yeah, that's a Pisces. Oh, she's definitely Taurus. She seems very Taurus to me. Does that mean I think that's the essence of everyone who they are? No, that's why we have a chart, an astrology chart, you know, chart. Now, Mercury Retrograde, let's get into that right now. Segue into how I use astrology, I find fascinating is, if it isn't true, how did I guess all these people's signs? How did I guess it? How did I know what they were? And they never told me. I didn't know. Some complete strangers, and I just knew. Not all the time, but a lot of times, and it would be usually the first guess. Sometimes it would take 2, but it was usually the first guess. And I'd be like, sometimes it wasn't even, so it's just like, oh, that's who you are. So if there's nothing to it, how do I know this? I don't have an answer, do you? Is it just my intuition, the third eye? It's a whole nother video. Open your third eye. Check mine out if you're interested. There are many languages of astrology that are beyond predictive. It is the personality and life lessons and things that we find interesting. I don't use like the word lessons, but life themes that can come up for certain individuals. It's not usually the way that they dress, though their appearance, sometimes that would be a clue for me. But it was usually an internal, the way they would, if I just heard them speak for a sentence, or there's different modalities, and what I do is it helps me to be compassionate and understand people more. Let's start with the negatives, what you may have heard about Mercury Retrograde. Don't buy electronics, don't sign a contract, delayed travel, miscommunication, what? Miscommunication, no sorry, what was that? Miscommunication, yes. You're saying something and they don't get it, or you say, hi, how are you? You look really nice today. Or, no, it's okay, relax. I am relaxed. Okay. I was just saying, relax. By the way, that was a real story. That's the so-called negative ones. But let's go with the positive. Positive. You can come into contact with people from the past. Not always a good thing, but it can be. It can be you find lost items. Like you lost your wallet. There it is. Or your keys. Or many different things. Old business contacts. Or contacts through maybe someone who you used to work with. Or a friend, or you meet somebody through somebody else that you weren't expecting. Takes us to pause. Retrograde, all retrograde means is to go back. Retro, think retro. Retro, like this top, it's kind of retro. Wasn't bought today. Just going backwards. Backwards doesn't have to be bad. That's so linear thinking. If you look, especially in North America, if you look from the sky, if those have flown in a plane, you know this, and you look over the cities in North America, they're designed in a grid of, and people move in a linear way. What I find fascinating about the Earth, and I've only traveled so many places, but I have traveled far and wide. When you look at Europe, certain places in Europe, as well as in Japan, that's a whole other place, there are so many other shapes and the way roads move and sidewalks, and it's just so different, and roundabouts, and there's just so many ways that are different. So don't look at it as a setback. It doesn't have to be. However, I can't say from my personal experience that I have had the electronic thing happen. I don't know if that's my belief. I have noticed some miscommunications. Yeah, I've seen that. Sometimes coming back in the past, I don't know. It's a decision. Is part of it made up? Yes. Is Mercury a planet that exists? Yes. When planets move, does it affect the Earth? Yes and no. It does affect us. We can choose what degree it affects us. Which is interesting, I used the word degree. There was a little pun there, I didn't mean that. Because there's degrees, you know, those who know astrology, like degrees in a house. And, yeah, no. It can be really interesting to me that I used to be like, oh God, Mercury retrograde's coming. Now I'm like, oh, okay, Mercury retrograde's coming. Interesting. Now it's a time to pause. Now I get cautious of if I was buying a big purchase, like cell phone, for example. If I had the choice, I would hold off. But sometimes you don't have that choice. So you're screwed and that's it. Well, let me give you an example of those who be the naysayers. Astrology doesn't work. It's a bunch of nonsense. I'm more than your sign. Yes, you are. Those who don't know astrology, there is called an astrological chart. Your natal chart, birth chart, shows so many planets and degrees. You are more than just your sun sign. Some say a lot of it is actually your rising sign, is a lot of what your life gifts can be about as your rising. The moon. The moon affects the tides, look, the water. Look it up. The moon also seems to affect, for whatever reason, you heard that term, I said it earlier, lunacy. It is lunacy. Lunacy. Lune, and for those who know, in French is the moon. Hospitals have said they, for whatever reason, have noticed that during a full moon, they're busier. Whether the werewolves are out biting or, I don't know. The main message I have today is don't worry about it. Don't worry about it so much when these planetary things happen. Yeah, you can be aware of it and go, interesting, and take certain, you could say precautions, or another way to put it is awareness. Awareness of, okay, interesting, I know that this is one possibility. One possibility of how things can be interpreted, and one thing that's going up in the sky right now that we don't even aware of all the planets and where they actually are and whether they affect us this far on Earth. Some say yes, some say no. But you decide how it affects you, and astrology is so much more than predictive. It's how we are affected on our day-to-day lives, of how we think we are, how we behave, how we don't behave, how we feel, thoughts that we have. Some people it affects us, some others, but what I find hilarious is sometimes even those who are very against astrology, and I still love you. I love having different perspectives. I love it. I have a good friend who does not think planets in the sky have any relevance at all. Totally get that. Yet I laugh when I'm guess somebody's sign. And I remember there was once we were in a bar. This is the last story I'll give you. And for those who know astrology, you might know why I'm saying this. It was a Scorpio, and I said to him, I'm like, oh yeah, you're a Scorpio, right? He's like, yes. I love that. So it's like, where did I get that? Sometimes it's so obvious. It's so funny. So funny. Laugh at ourselves, laugh at it all, have fun, and take care. To the stars. See your star.